Star Wars fans, we've already got the first 3 episodes of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Obviously, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen these 3 episodes, why would you even click on a video with this title or this thumbnail if you haven't seen at least the first 2 episodes? Is the Grand Inquisitor dead? We're going to be answering this question right now. What's up, guys? Micah Guy. Okay, no, we're getting to the point. No, he is not dead. If anybody's telling you he's dead, they are absolutely lying to your face because he's not dead. Micah Guy loves Star Wars here. Today we're talking about the Grand Inquisitor. Is he dead? No. So at the end of episode 2, you zoomed in on Obi-Wan's face as he said Anakin, and then you got to, boom, Darth Vader. You saw him in a Bacta tank. But before that, slightly before, if you rewind a few moments, you'll see Reva stab the Grand Inquisitor in the stomach with a lightsaber. So as the great Luke Skywalker once said, or will say, because he's only 10 years old at the time, nobody's ever truly gone. And in the case of the Grand Inquisitor, he is definitely not gone. Now, why am I so certain of this? Why am I so sure? Oh, he could have died. He got stabbed by a lightsaber. No, he's alive. Because there's this little show called Star Wars Rebels that ran for 4 seasons, and the Grand Inquisitor was the main bad guy of at least 2 of them. And when does this Rebels show take place, you might ask? Oh, it takes place a few years after the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. So how could the Grand Inquisitor be dead? Now, I've seen this theory all over the internet, and it absolutely sounds ridiculous that Utapauans, which is the Grand Inquisitor's species, have 2 stomachs. Are you serious? Sure. If he wants to go eat a meal after he got stabbed in the stomach with a lightsaber, he could still digest it. But he still got stabbed in the stomach with a lightsaber. I don't think the Utapauans having 2 stomachs really even comes into conversation when you got stabbed with a lightsaber. Hey, that's just me. Maybe it is. Maybe he just wanted to eat a nice meal after he got stabbed. Maybe he's not bleeding out all over the place. Maybe he's not just been stabbed in the stomach. All of his guts and interiorness is shooting everywhere. So here's my prediction. A lot of people had problems with the Grand Inquisitor's appearance coming into the Kenobi show. Now, they were saying that his face is not long enough, not skinny enough, just too round. So here's my proposition to Disney Star Wars. You chop off the sides of his head, right? And you use each side to cover the wounds on his stomach. Just one in the back, one in the front, just a nice patchwork. And then boom, you got the skinny face for the Inquisitor, and he's all patched up and ready to go. I mean, tell me in the comments below, is that not the greatest idea ever to fix the appearance of the Inquisitor? Because he already got the Sith eyes in the 2nd episode. He already fixed that. So to fix his facial features, easy for you to say, tell me in the comments below. Do you think that's a great idea? Just chop off the 2 sides of his face and just patch up the holes in his stomach. You know, one in the front, one in the back. Alright, with all seriousness, I actually think he's not dead, obviously. But in episode 3, however, when Reva is hologramming to Vader in his castle, by the way, epic. This episode 3 was unbelievable. Can't get over it. Vader, awesome. Vader's castle, awesome. You can't get enough Vader. But Reva says, the Grand Inquisitor. And she says that Obi-Wan, she's pretty much blaming Obi-Wan for killing the Grand Inquisitor. And I honestly don't think Vader's buying it one bit. The scene does make it seem like the Grand Inquisitor is either dead or they're trying to fix him up and they're just blaming it on Kenobi. But Reva's kind of running out of time if they're patching this guy up and he's still alive. Because he's just going to wake up and be like, Reva did that to me, not Obi-Wan. But a lot of fans are saying, why would they even do this to the Grand Inquisitor? Why would they even make Reva stab him in the chest if we know that he's going to be alive years later? What I think is they had to elevate the character of Reva and get the character of the Grand Inquisitor out of the way. Reva's trying to become the Grand Inquisitor, trying to gain power, gain respect from Vader, and maybe even overthrow Vader. Who knows what she's thinking in her head, but she had to get the Grand Inquisitor out of the way. We also had to have a character that we don't know their future. Reva is a new character, so we don't know if she survives or dies. We don't know if she's an Ahsoka type character who's just not in the original trilogy and will show up after the original trilogy, or is she just going to die in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show? The Grand Inquisitor, however, we thought could not die. I mean, he's not dead, but he's out of the picture. He's sidelined for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show to bring in the character of Reva so that she might be able to die. The Obi-Wan Kenobi show has so many characters like Obi-Wan, like Vader, like the Grand Inquisitor, like some of the Inquisitors that we've seen before, like the fifth brother, that we know have to survive through the show. Reva, however, we don't know, so it's always a question as will she survive? Bringing back the Grand Inquisitor, if Reva thinks he's dead, then maybe he actually is dead, because in the Vader comics, Vader actually brings the Grand Inquisitor back to life in the comics. These are canon comics. We've seen the canon comics get switched before when obviously Yoda's lightsaber gets thrown in the pit with the rest of them after Order 66, and then it shows up again at the end of Boba Fett when Luke says, "Here you go, Grogu. Here's Yoda's lightsaber," even though we saw it get destroyed in canon comics. So using the words canon comics is a little here or there. You don't really know if they're actually canon. You don't know if they're going to change. Vader bringing the Grand Inquisitor back to life seems a little far-fetched, but at this point in time, the Grand Inquisitor seems to be dead. So maybe Vader does bring him back to life. Maybe nobody's ever truly gone. Just a quick side note, it is crazy how the Obi-Wan Kenobi show is doing the same thing that The Last Jedi did, just so much better. If you look at the storyline between the Obi-Wan Kenobi show and The Last Jedi, they look pretty darn similar, but one is already a whole lot better than the other. I know there's a lot of Last Jedi fans out there, so I won't roast it too hard, but you can't deny that Obi-Wan's already doing a better job at that story arc than The Last Jedi did. But tell me in the comments below, is the Grand Inquisitor dead? Tell me in the comments below. But also, of course, we know he's not dead. How do you think he's going to come back? Do you think he's just getting patched up? Do you think his head's just getting shaved a little bit and he's going to patch up? Because Reva's going to have a short time if he does come back. Or do you think he's going to die and Vader actually brings him back to life, which would be insane. Imagine seeing that in live action. That would be so cool. Whatever you're thinking, tell me in the comments below. Smash like if you like this video, hit subscribe, and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video, and my pretty face will show up in that recommended feed of yours. 3 episodes. I hate to break it to you guys, but we're already halfway through the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I know it hurts my heart to say it, but we're already halfway through the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. It's only 6 episodes. We're already at episode 3. But it's an amazing start. Episode 3 was so good. I can't get over it. It was amazing. And I will be having a video on why Vader didn't just take out Obi-Wan. Because I know fans are complaining about this. Why didn't he just put out the fire again? He just put out the fire 2 seconds ago. He's just playing with his food. I'll have a whole video on it. But Vader obviously could have gone and gotten Obi-Wan right there. He didn't have to walk away. But he did it for a reason. And it's a very good one. So stay tuned for that video. And may the Force be with you. Always.